Hey, welcome to Tom Trips Out. So, if you're new to my channel, I'm a Canadian and I've been living here for 3 years in Cambodia, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I'm from Toronto originally. And you should go check out my channel. The rest of my channel, I make proper videos as well as these live streams, and I do shorts, and I'm really active, so it's worth subscribing. And right now it's like 6:30 in the morning. I've been getting up really early. I started getting a gut around Christmas over the holidays, so, and then I tried working out once and I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, I'm a little bit sick right now. I can't do like stuff where you're really having an intense workout with intense cardio. I just go, it doesn't work for me. But I can walk. I really like walking. And I walk fast, like on purpose to get a better workout. I take like big strides with my footstep, like big long steps. And I'm moving fast. And you do that for like an hour. You know, I might cover like 5 kilometers or something like in an hour. So anyways, every morning I've been getting up. And for the first half an hour, I just speed walk like crazy. And then the second half an hour, I turn on a live stream. But just for my members, I have a members section. And that's part of what this video is about. I want to show you guys, I want to show the public, you know, what the members have been getting every morning. This is what they get. They get the other half of my walk around. And I go to I walk around in different places to show you new stuff every time. And one time we walked to the river. And so if you like content about Cambodia and you want a bit of extra, there's a link in the description to my members. It's only $4.99. I've been doing it now for months and months, so there's probably like 150 videos like already sitting there. You could go binge, and then as I say, they're coming every morning when I do my walk. So we'll see what we see. I think we're right by Russian Market again, but it's even earlier than usual. Like it's 6:30 now. Usually I would turn this on at about 7, but no thanks. I got out earlier today. The tuk-tuk guys are like, whoop, 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 tuk-tuk. It's better getting out earlier. There's less traffic and yeah. I just, this you can just tell this is a better time, but you'd have to like get outside by 6. I like to set my alarm for 6. I don't want to set it for 5:30 and then get out by 6. But just today, I've been sick the last couple of days, just a little bit, like a cold. So I kind of laid down last night really early and I fell asleep like really early. I don't know what time. Maybe like 8. So then I wake up at like 4 in the morning and I have a bunch of I look at my phone and just for a second, and there's a bunch of YouTube, a couple trolls had commented me, so I start answering back, and all of a sudden my brain's alive now and I can't go back to sleep. I've woke up all the way. So then after a while I just started getting ready and I'm like, oh, I'll go out at 6 instead of 6:30. Morning, Mary. Morning, Zorro. Devontae Sanders. I'm coming on May 3rd. Just finished my TEFL. Nice. Hey, Devontae Sanders. If I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Devontae. What was I going to say? Yeah, so you have your TEFL already. You have a certificate already, so you got that. And you might have seen in my videos, or I don't know if this is the first time you've watched, but I always talk about a TEFL program that is in the country here and Vietnam called AVSE, and there's links below to that. But I'm bringing it up because you're saying you're coming here to get a job, right? And you've already got your TEFL. Now this company, AVSE, this TEFL course, they have a couple side programs, and one would be really good for you, I think. It's called Teaching Jobs Abroad, and so it's for people that they already have a certificate. And then in this program, it's just 1 week, and they basically put you in real classrooms, and you sit at the back and observe a real teacher doing it. Then you come back later with prepared material, and you take over their class for an hour as practice, and they watch you and give you feedback. And then when you come out of that week, AVSE, they find you a job, like the hands-on job support. So then if you're worried, like, oh, May's coming up, but I don't know if I'll get there and I won't be able to find a job, or I'm not sure how experienced you are. Sometimes people are afraid that they have like imposter syndrome. Like, I know I could speak English, but I don't know if I can do this or not. And it really puts you at ease when you can observe the teachers. Like I told you what happens during that week, and then you get some practice. And then you walk out like, oh yeah, I could do that. So there's a link below if you want to read about it, called Teaching Jobs Abroad. So they would have another program called like, Phnom Penh TESOL or something. Like, you already have a TEFL certificate, but you might be interested in the jobs one. But anyways, this is what the members get every morning. And I talk about what's going on in my life, and they get updates on, I might talk about something that's happening, and then 3 or 4 days later, I'll say how it's progressing and like stuff like that. Also, members often get things, I'll open up a bit more because those videos are more private, so no one can, I might talk about people behind their back or tell stories that happened that I wouldn't want to tell publicly. Like you'll get more of an inside scoop, or like the politics of what bar's fighting with who, and who was an asshole, or this or that, or that kind of thing. And I wouldn't talk about that in a public live, but so we'll keep walking around. Hey, this weekend, this Friday, I'm going to Kampot, which is my favorite little town in Cambodia. One day I'm going to move there. It's like a little small town, and this Friday I rented a little lodge. Basically like a little cottage on the river. It's like a house on stilts, and there's like kayaks and boats underneath, in the storage underneath the house, because it's up on stilts. So I could go on the boat. I might strap a camera to my body and go on a kayak. And so there'll be some videos coming in. It's Tuesday now, right? So 3 days and I'll be having an adventure. And it's really beautiful. And then just coincidence, I started looking now, like, okay, it's this weekend, so what's going on in Kampot? And I'm looking on Facebook events and looking around. And there's a huge festival happening this weekend. Just coincidence. It's like really lucky. I randomly chose this week. Like 3 weeks ago, I could tell that like I made a couple extra hundred than I usually do this month. So I thought, okay, I can do a little adventure for my channel, get some videos. So I book, and I'm like, that's a good weekend. Like, after we had a show last weekend, so I'm like, okay, I'll do it the weekend after our show. Book everything. And then now that we're getting really close, I see it's like the perfect weekend. There's a big event happening. Yeah, and if you feel like supporting the channel, you could always send super thanks or donations in the chat. But what I always recommend, if you were going to consider giving a donation or sending anything, it's actually smarter if you just became a member for 1 month, because then you get access to like 150 videos instead of just sending me $4.99 donation for nothing. You should sign up and then get something out of it. Lots of content there for you. Links in the description if you want to check all that stuff out. You know, we can go, if we keep going straight, there's a huge construction happening like at the end of this next street, way down there. And we were there like a week ago. We could go see how it's going. Yeah, usually I'm just coming out of my house right now to start a walk, but I got out early today. Oh no, today's Wednesday. Just a second ago I said today's Tuesday. So it's only 2 days away. I'm planning to bring an acoustic guitar too, which will be annoying when I'm taking one of those buses, like a 12-person van. You know, and everyone squeezes in and it's all in my head. But I just imagine the other people see me and they're like, oh, here he is, fucking guy with his guitar. Like, not that I'm going to play it in the van, but I just mean it's in the way and bulky and stuff. I'll probably hold it between my legs. I don't want to have it in the back with a bunch of stuff on top of it. Because at the end of March, I have a solo show, which is really weird. I'm a bass player normally, but growing up, I did a lot of songwriting on acoustic guitar. And so sometimes I unveil it. But they're really like personal songs and emotional lyrics and stuff like that, but very upbeat. It's not... some of the lyrics are a downer, but the music is kind of fast and good. And indie rock acoustic emotional topics. Anyways, I got to practice for that. So I feel like I'm going to Camp Pot I'm going on that trip by myself this weekend. So it's like, what are you going to do the whole time? Like, you know, you can make videos some of the time, and then be a good time to work out my set. It's pretty cool. The way the show works is they do it once a month, and it's only original artists. So you cannot play a cover. You have to play only original. And it's 3 artists. And you take turns, and you play about 6 songs. It's like you play for like a half an hour. Or you play for like 25 minutes. And then it's the next guy's turn, and then the next guy's turn. And then it comes back again to the first guy, and you get another 25 minutes. So like a round robin, you know? And what's good about that is, especially for me, I'm probably the one that will have to play first. This guy's gonna run me over from behind. You know, when you're the opening artist and you play really early, nobody's there that early. So you play for nobody when you play first. That's the stereotype, you know? I think at this bar, though, everyone comes at the beginning, and they don't say who's going to play first. So the audience doesn't know who's going to play first. So you have to show up early in case it's your friend or something. But I guarantee it'll be me. It always is. The other 2 artists are really good. But anyways, so people are just showing up as I'm playing because I'm opening. But then picture that. Like an hour later, I get to play again one more time. My other set, you get two half-hour sets basically, and then that time is like prime time. That's like the middle of the event, you know. So here's the construction. So I gotta make like, oh, there's flies all over me. I gotta make a list of like 8 songs and do that twice. So I need like 15 or 16 songs. That thing doesn't make any sound. It must be electric. Woo! Look at this guy. This car that almost ran me over. He's still positioning. Oh my God. So yeah, that's a lot of songs. I was just telling you about the show I have. It's at the end of March, March 29. Even people who are songwriters, they might not have 16 songs, you know. It's like, you know, even if they've written a whole album, that could be 10 songs. That's not enough for the show. Like, you have to have enough for an hour, basically, and you do half first and half later. This guy, such a loser. And look, it's lowered, like he thinks he's cool because the car's lowered. They do it so that like the profile's really close to the tire, like it's close to the ground. Stupid idiot. I think they were looking at me like they think I'm following them or something. Now I don't know if they're... Start getting paranoid. What if they're like doing bad things and they think I'm filming them? Just drive away. I don't want any hassle. Okay, he's driving away now. I'm worried they're doing some kind of unscrupulous deal or whatever, and then I show up with a video camera in their face, like wrong place at the wrong time. Probably just paranoid. It's a really nice morning. The heat is coming back too. It's not quite all the way back yet, but it's turning up now. Cambodia gets a winter pretty much for January, February. But it's not cold. It goes down to like 22 or 23, 20, stuff like that at the coldest. And then the highs will be like 29 and 30 Celsius. But in the hot time of the year, it'll go to like 44 plus humidity. So it's like this time of year is like 15 degrees colder, even though it's still hot. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, like March is one of the hottest months, so we're getting close now. I remember like my second apartment here, I got my electric bill for March, and it was like, what? Like triple normal, the electricity, and it's because the AC had to work. I wasn't being smart about my air conditioner. And it has to work when it's really like extreme heats like that. Your air conditioner unit is like working on overdrive. Like it takes way more energy to keep it cold when it's like 45 degrees out. But anyways, yeah, I remember March was that bill, and I remember thinking every March is going to be brutal. Like, and then it starts to get like March, April is like. And then by the end of April, you start to get sick of the heat. Like, you can't even go for a walk without this happening. See my shirt? I'm exercising right now, so it's normal, but you can't even just go to the store without like that happening. I would like switch into clothes like this to go get something from the store, and then come back and switch to the cool clothes after. Like. And so by the end of April, you're thinking, oh my God, this heat wave. And then in about May, the rain season starts, and it's like, you're like begging. right before it starts, you're dying for it. You're like begging for the rain, and then after like 2 days of it, you're like, oh, I don't want any more rain. But then it's going to be another 5 months of the rain season's like half the year, but it rains for only when it's rain season. It's like a normal beautiful day all day long, and then at about 4:30 p.m. ish, around there, it could rain for like 2 hours, but extremely crazy jungle monsoon for like 2 hours, and streets are flooded and stuff. But imagine that the whole day, like if you get up at 7 a.m., you'd have like 8 hours of a beautiful sunny day, and then right at about 4:30 some clouds start coming, and then it happens. So you kind of still get a whole day. And you just see everyone, the clouds start rolling in and everyone's scrambling, and they're trying to rush and finish what they're doing and get home before it hits, you know. That's what it's like. So don't think of rain season like 24 hours a day rain. It's not like, it's like a 2-hour rainstorm every day in the late afternoon. That's what it mostly is. And if you're in different parts of the country, it's different times. I remember, I forget where I was now. I think Sihanoukville, they get it more in the morning. They get it like at 11 a.m., which sucks because you can't get much done. In Phnom Penh, it comes at 4:30, 5 o'clock, sometimes even 6 o'clock. So it's like you've already had a full nice day and you're already home, and then you look out the window, oh, it's going to rain soon, but it doesn't matter. You're done everything. Rain season's not that bad. All right, we're going to end it off soon. I don't know what else to talk about. So I'm going to go to the store. One cool thing too, my cousin from Denmark, he's going to come visit me, and he gets here the day of my solo show on March 29. So he's going to come watch my solo show, and then I'm going to hire that same tuk-tuk driver that took us to Silk Island. He was a cool guy, and get him to take us to some places. He's only here for like 2-3 days, so we can do stuff on each day and then make videos. Oh wow, look, the store's not even open. The lights are off. It's 5 minutes to 7. Maybe they open at 7. I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe I can tell you guys about, well, this is public. I gotta be careful what I say. I've had a few posts, and one of my old videos is explaining that in Cambodia, you don't need a degree to be a teacher. Like, I don't have any degree. I just have high school. And I was a high school teacher here. And I get posts sometimes, usually from really old people they're very closed-minded, and they've just been told that this is the way that is right to live. And so then if they see someone else succeeding and doing it a different way than that, then they are upset. That it questions whether their own decisions in their life were right, and so they snap out at you, and they're like, in my comments, they're like, and it's always an old guy, like, my thing will say like, no degree, no problem, you can work here, and he'll be like, that's not fair to the children, and they're suffering because there's all these teachers here that don't have degrees. And I'm like, what is that? What is like having a degree? Like, imagine I'm 39 years old, and so I would have had a degree. If I had a degree, I would have got it like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So if on my resume it said, oh, University of Toronto, 2005 or something, now I'm a better teacher. Like, now I care about the students more. Now I'm performing well in front of the class. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. And he says, I know many people that are just TEFLers that have, they don't even know what a gerund is, and they don't know, that's a grammar thing, and they have spelling mistakes. And I wanted to say, like, oh, so if you went to university, you majored in gerunds and spelling. Those aren't things that you do in university. Those spelling and stuff, that's all very elementary. And they just have this big ego that they wasted time and money like getting a degree. And they're upset that I'm able to make the same or more and not have a degree. By the way, like, this is insulting too, but I've had many jobs like growing up, and even when you're trying your hardest and you're doing really well, I find teaching to be so easy. It's like the most easy, trivial job. Sometimes it's tough, like managing a classroom with 25 kids and they're misbehaving, but beyond that, the work you have to do is like nothing. And they act like, oh, you have to have a degree or the kids are suffering. I'm like, what? So you can go make your photocopies and then have a power trip on the kids? Like, oh, you stand in a line. Like, they're not even using anything that you would learn in university. So it really triggered me, and that's why I was up early today. I snapped back and woke up. There's many teachers too that they look at teaching like it's a trivial job, like people that have degrees, and they're like, I didn't take a 5-year degree, or sometimes they have more than one degree. They're like, I didn't take a 4-year program and a 3-year degree so that I could just be a teacher my whole life. Like, they don't give a fuck about teaching. Like, oh, but the kids are suffering if you don't hire one of those people. Like, it's really stupid. I had one troll, like, yeah, well, he's like, I see what you're saying, like a different person, but I see what you're saying about a degree, but he's like, if you're applying for a job and there's 3 or 4 people applying, and if it's all sort of equal, but one person has a degree, they're going to choose that person, obviously, right? Or they would be stupid if they don't. And I understand that, but that's so not totally true. Like, when they interview you, and they often in an interview, you have to also do a demo lesson for like a half an hour or an hour in front of a real class, and they watch you see how you teach. That's what they care more about. And in the interview, they talk to you, and it's 2 main things. Like, do they like you? You know what I mean? They have to work with you every day, and they're gonna, is this someone I want to work with? They're thinking. And like, is he going to fit in well with the other people that work here and the kids and stuff? Like, imagine if I used to be a manager at a rental car place, and when you're hiring people, you think about that stuff too. Will they mix into the culture well? What's their attitude like? And then the other thing is, you have to get a feel for, are they going to quit after 1 month or not? Because that's the biggest nightmare. If in 1 month you're back to looking for someone brand new again, then that's when the kids really suffer, because they always having to keep starting over every month or 2 with a brand new teacher. And I find the ones with the most turnover are people with degrees, because they're just leapfrogging till they find the next bigger, better job. They're not actually interested in actually teaching. That's just a placeholder while they find what they went to school for, or whatever, you know what I mean? So I've seen the students suffering at the hands of people with degrees way more than like someone like me, or you know what I mean? Anyways, I at least have an argument. It's debatable. But yeah, you could come back at me. It's ironic that we're talking about working in a school, and I'm saying that it's better to not continue on going to school. You know, that's kind of stupid. And the one thing I'll give them, if you have university on your resume, it shows that you could stick with something and complete it. I agree with that respect. Something that takes like 4 years to do and you stuck with it the whole time and completed it and got it, like that's okay. But does that mean now the kids are not going to suffer because you did that? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I find it insulting because I take it seriously. Okay, I'm just repeating myself. I'm gonna go. Looks like they turned the lights on in the store now. I might crop out this whole last part. All right, go subscribe to the channel. Check out all my other proper videos. And until next time, remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.